Hey everybody. Today we're putting one of these in this. Let's get to it. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Make It and Break It. My name's Andrew. Behind me is my 300C Ute project, which we're gonna try and do the last fixes hopefully tonight. If this doesn't work, we're pretty much down to replacing the power control module. So what we've been doing is we've been fighting a check engine light, P0507, which is RPM high. Basically, the car thinks it's idling high, and that affects emissions and all that sort of stuff. So usually that's an indicator code or a follow-on code. So usually there's something else also wrong with the car that throws a code. So you fix that first. Unfortunately, there really not anything consistently wrong with this car, other than it gives me a high idle code every once in a while. So we've been kind of chasing our tails, looking for vacuum leaks, we replaced throttle body, all that sort of stuff, and we're down to our last couple pieces. So one of the codes this thing has thrown before is a crankshaft position sensor circuit code. And that usually means the crankshaft's position sensor is going bad, and even if it's not totally wrong, it could be off just enough to throw our computer off or throw our idle off or something like that. So we did get a new one, and we're gonna go replace it today, and we're gonna do that in kind of a little DIY. One, because I haven't done a DIY on this channel in a while, and I haven't done a really good one for the Chrysler yet, and there's a couple videos on it, but this is a good one that I want to go do. Two, it's super late, and I wasted a bunch of time today installing and setting up new gear. So I actually set up my air compressor kind of back there, and the quick jacks that the Chrysler is currently sitting on. And I thought that was going to be quick, and it ended up not being quick, and I got sidetracked by a bunch of things, and I wasted the entire day. So I need to get something done, get something out to you guys, and I also need to fix this car as quickly as I can. Because I've only got essentially this week, which is a partial week because I go camping on the weekend. I leave Friday for camping and riding our Project Hyper 10 array on some off-road stuff. And two, we're gonna start running up on our deadline to get the Doritos Locos RX-8 running again with an engine that's healthy and isn't like down to apex seals. So we have about a week and a half to get that done before I have to swap cars, bring that one in, and get going full bore on that one. So yeah, we're late. We gotta go get going. So DIY thing. Here's the tools you need, and it's a ton of tools. Let me show you. So the crankshaft position sensor is kind of right down here on the side of the engine block, on the passenger side. So what you got to do is you got to move the starter out of the way. That's what this is for. These are it's a 15 millimeter bolt. I got this on right now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use this wrench, but 15 millimeter bolts, 3 of them, to go move it out of the way, and then it's a single 10 mil that's holding on the sensor. Which here's kind of what the sensor looks like over here. So there's a single 10 mil bolt that holds this in place once everything's all installed. Because we're messing with the starter, the first thing you want to do is disconnect the battery. Luckily, that's also a 10 mil. So we go pop the trunk and go ahead and disconnect the negative battery terminal. Handy thing is removing the battery also clear all of our codes and reset us for a bunch of stuff. So don't forget your drink of choice. It's late, it's hot, so we have fancy water with the essence of the fragrance of flavor. At this point, if you haven't already done so, you're going to want to jack up the car. You really only need the front jacked up. You don't need to be using a quick jack system like this. Part of this was I finally had this thing, the impetus and the reason to set it up, so I did, and I wanted to use it. But really, you could get away with just some jack stands or some ramps up at the front, because you're basically working in right behind your passenger side wheel. So we'll go show you that. All right, Alright, so we're under the car here, and we can see the starter, which is right here, and we see some bolts, and these are the 15 mil bolts we care about. So this is your exhaust manifold coming down from your passenger side, and this is your transmission. So the bolts, let's focus on those for a second here. There's one bolt here, and one bolt up there. You can kind of see it there. Those are 15 mil bolts. You're gonna want to pop those off and move the starter out of the way. All right, so with the starter removed, which is right there, you can see that little sensor cable right there. That's our crank position sensor. So there's a 10 mil bolt. You can kind of just see right off to the left. I can't reach it. Can't reach the point to you guys right now, but I'll get a picture and show it here. And then you pop this sensor out and put the new one in. Okay, so here's our two sensors side by side, old and new. You can tell this one's all grimy and dirty and this one's not. One thing to check when you're pulling these sensors out is make sure that the, focus, there we go. Make sure that the O-ring is intact. Otherwise you might have to go back in and pull out O-ring sections. This one looks pretty good actually. So then it's just reverse. Go in, put this in, hook her back up, and throw everything back together. All right, so let's see how she does. I'm gonna plug in my reader here. Let's see, make sure we're not throwing horrendous codes before we even turn it on. No pending, no stored. All right, and here goes nothing. That was a pretty decent start. Let's go see if we got any leaks going on. No horrendous leaks. Although that idle is already sounding a little bit lower. Let's see what she's looking like. Oh yeah, that's already in the mid 600s, I think. Let's see what we got on the code reader. Nice. Already, this thing is, you guys can't read that. So it's already reading 615. It would still be in the high sixes at this point. So maybe that was our fix, is legitimately just putting in a new crank position sensor. So we'll let this run a little bit, warm up, and see if we get any pending codes. Well, all right. So we let her warm up, and the idle seems nicer if it's still settling out in about the same spot. So I don't know if we actually fixed it or not. I don't know if there's ever anything wrong. Maybe our computer's bad. It's one of the last things we could replace here. So if this doesn't work, we're really gonna look hard at replacing the computer, which I don't really want to do because that's at least a week out, and that really puts me on a crunch timeline. But yeah, we let her warm up. Sounds pretty good. The idle code did not come back in pending or in a stored code. We did get a couple pending codes for lean banks on banks 1 and 2. I've seen that a couple times when I've pulled the battery, and it seems like it's a code that's spit out by the computer when it's relearning all of its fuel trims. especially early on. It's showing lean. So maybe that's a small vacuum leak somewhere, or maybe that's just the computer learning. But my experience, those pending codes will go away in a couple heat cycles here. So that's gonna be it for us today. Pretty quick video, but hopefully the next video we put out on the Chrysler, we have license plates at some point. So that's the plan. We're also I think we're gonna do some 3D printing videos this week, and we're also taking adventures with that one this weekend. So some setup stuff for that. So if you like this video, found it informational, maybe a little bit entertaining, definitely hit like, comment down below, tell me what you like. Did you find it helpful or not? If you have any advice for P0507, it's the bane of my existence right now, so I'll take any and all advice. If you like what we're doing in this channel, we got our Ute project, our motorcycle project, we do some 3D printing stuff, and then we've got our RX-8 race car build that's gonna start taking center stage here soon. Definitely hit subscribe, ding that bell, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you again soon. So thanks for watching, everybody. Again, my name's Andrew, this is Make It and Break It, and remember everyone, sometimes the going gets tough, but you don't want to make it hard, just kind of make it up. We'll catch you guys later.